Hi, William. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's just hello, Alondra. Good to see you. Um, Welcome everybody. Let me just wait a second. All right, how am I doing? I'm doing all right, thank you. How are you doing? Have you seen any of my last shorts and stuff? It's part of some of those today, so that's what I've been doing. So how was your workout? Then you say you went to do a workout or something, or was that earlier? Um, Thank you for the like, whoever that is. So yeah, so hope everyone's had a good day. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Well, hopefully some more people are gonna turn up soon. So I guess we just gotta wait it out or something. Hello, Nushad Exotic. Hope you're well. Good evening to you. Hope you've had a great day. Welcome in here. If you're new here, please subscribe. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, where's everyone from? Hit the like button, guys, please. Glad to see you again. And yeah, this morning I work, so I'll probably work out in an hour or so. Oh, you're doing another one. Hi, Ankita. How you doing? I hope you're well. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you. So yeah, tell us all about yourselves. My name's Jamie. I'm 30 years old. I live in York, England, and I've been doing a lot of live streaming and yeah, trying to just connect with people all over the world. So I'd appreciate it if you can be part of this family, if you will. Trying to build a community here. So if you want to become part of it, that's great. If you want to, just you don't have to turn up every day, but as long as you're, try and turn up whenever you can, that would be great. Just notice a lot of people just seem to kind of, I don't know. Obviously, people have their own things going on, but away from Kerala, was that? It's just a shame, really, because it seems like a lot of the old people are just gone. I don't know what's going on, but hello, Haley. Good to see you again. Yeah, I work out 7 times a week or so, except for weekends. All right. Okay. So I guess you just take the weekend off or something. Do you give your body a chance to recover? Depends on how you do things. There's people out there just work out every single day. It all depends, I guess, on how you do it, on how intense you go with the workouts and stuff. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, just I've not been going too hard today with workouts and stuff because it's just they go pretty hard yesterday with working out and then you feel it the day after and not feel sore or anything. It's just you just feel a bit. It's like even like your nervous system and things like that, or just that your muscles are just not quite, as they feel a little bit weaker or something like that. I wish I could work out every day, but I get very fatigued. I go really hard. Yeah. Some days I just go harder than others. Some days I don't go as hard. Just go with however my body feels on that day. I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm just not going to end up setting myself back and end up making myself weaker and weaker. So yeah. Anyway, welcome in, because the more we work out, the weaker we become. It's like we need the time to basically be able to recover. Oh, hello, Lucky from Calcutta. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you are new here, please give me a follow or subscribe, I mean. Alondra says true. Yeah. So I've been trying to just, have I done much today? Just a few push-ups and things, but not a whole lot really. Hello, but I've done some videos and stuff like shorts. I put it on here and then I've also put it on another platform as well. So yeah, this other platform, I've been getting pretty good views on some of my videos actually. So hello, Will. Hope you're well. Good evening to you. Nice to meet you all. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd be really appreciated. Hello, Dog 666. How you doing? Yes, Big Boss Man. Hello. What's your name? You're too good. Oh, okay. Really? I don't know. I don't think I'm that good. I'm so great. I'm so fantastic, guy. I'm a very talented man. This is the mouth harp. Oh, hello, Emily. Good to see you again. Will says, "What is this crap?" All right. Well, if you're gonna speak like that, then maybe just leave then. I haven't watched in a while. Have you been? I've been all right, thank you. I mustn't remember you from a while. It just seems like a lot of people have not really been. I don't know. They seem to be going a bit quiet, you know. I don't know. I've got over 3,000 followers, and hardly any of them seem to show up. So, okay, okay then. Bye. You know, if you're gonna come in here with that kind of attitude, then goodbye. Then, you know. Have some respect. I don't know how old you are, but yeah, you've got to learn to have some manners, you know, for goodness sake. Anyway, so yeah, hope everyone's well anyway. Levent, how's it going? Hope you're well tonight. Welcome in here. Yeah, Doug says cool. Yeah, it said mouth harps, musical instrument. Welcome in. Oh yeah, bravo. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like hit the like button, everybody. We only got 3 likes on here. Come on, guys. There's more than 3 people been chatting, so come on. Literally just text 2 seconds. Just on 4 now. Okay, thank you. Yeah, screaming video. Yeah, it's like metal bands and stuff. You know, it's like the song Linkin Park. You know, it's called "Giving Up," and it goes, "Put me out of my misery. Put me out of my misery. Put me out of my fucking misery." That kind of thing, yeah. So fucking what? If they hear me, then whatever. Whatever. That was like Linkin Park giving up. The thing is, though, it's quite disturbing actually, because hello Abdullah, because that song was about "Put Me Out of My Misery," which is like, it's like it's like a message that he's putting out of like, because looking back, it's like of how he was going through a lot of mental stuff. Well, thank you, Alondra. They were frightened. Oh yeah, actually, next door back when I was living in Blackburn, they were like, "What the hell's going on?" And they thought there was something wrong. Hit the like button, everybody. Yeah, the lyrics is like, when you look back, it's like, oh shit, he was like literally telling everybody how he was feeling, but then no one really kind of yeah, like it was a cry for help, yeah. But yeah, it was one of the heaviest ones, I'd say, because of the, especially that kind of like breakdown, if you will. That was like a sort of, but yeah, it was a very quite a one of the more angrier ones. But but it was more of like a kind of not really anger, but more just like frustration and just there's a lot of emotions and stuff. But yeah, um, but yeah, it's just sad, isn't it, what happened? And yeah, what are your thoughts on the new singer then? Do you think she's any good, or I mean, she'll not replace Chester, that's for sure, but it does feel odd how they've replaced it with a female vocalist. Not that like there's anything wrong with female vocalists, but it's like it's just not really true to the original lineup, if you will, is it? Like you don't usually replace say like if it was a female singer, you wouldn't necessarily replace it with a male singer or as well. So uh, not mega on the new front woman, but good the band is still around. Yeah. Well, she was in like what is it? Dead Sorrow. I don't know. Maybe she was just better off in that. I don't know. She's just to be honest, I've not really heard a lot of their songs. I know they did a song called Weatherman. That was actually a pretty cool song, but yeah. Don't know if you've heard it, but yeah. But she had like pretty good vocals on that song, but it's just the fact that they've like replaced it with and I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I think there was just these like raw emotions with Chester when he did the songs and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was saying. She doesn't have that same kind of but that's the sad thing about it really with music is that hi body code Thai massage, how you doing? I've seen you on my videos and stuff. How are you doing tonight? So it's like they say like the emotions they sell, like sadness and anger and these negative emotions, it's like a lot of the best selling songs that they're like either heartbreak or some kind of grief or some kind of frustration that somebody has with things, and it's like it's negative. It's like yeah, you do get some positive songs do well, like obviously songs like you could think of songs like sort of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, for example. Never gonna give you up, never, that kind of like a posy tune, it's like a posy anthem. But yeah, but that's the thing of it being relatable and kind of some people feel like, that it helps them to get over some bad situations in their life when someone else is feeling that way. Some people say that a sad song can ironically like pick them up. I guess everyone responds to different things. Sometimes people cheer up with like a positive tune of like a sort of like a sort of like a positive like feel good tune of like just to make them feel more optimistic and better about things. But then yeah, it just depends, I guess, on the context and the person as well, like and what they respond to. So yeah, what's your name anyway? Body Care Thai massage. So you're into like doing massages then? So I've heard like about Thai massages. Apparently, there's a thing called a happy ending massage or something. It's apparently where they. I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, I hope everyone's well tonight. Thank you all for joining me. So, Abdullah says red light style. Yeah, red light district. Yeah. Has anyone ever been to Amsterdam? Not for that, but like just to go there. I've never been there, but I'm just wondering if it's worth going to one day. It's just very, very flat around Netherlands, isn't it? Everywhere is just completely flat, pretty much for the most part. Yeah. It's just you like to, right? Yeah. It wouldn't be like on the top of my bucket list really, but never say never, eh? Where else? Like, where would I go? I'd like to go to like Italy. Would be good. See the Anne Frank Museum. All right, is that in Netherlands then? Right. Hit the like button, everybody. Back, they've got 23 people in the house, so welcome in, everybody. Hope you've all had a good day. Come and hang out with us if you want. And hello, Jacob. Yeah, I've heard of gang stalking. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I do feel like, I don't know, because I'm partial to a good like conspiracy and stuff. It's just, I don't know whether people might be getting a bit too deep into things. I mean, it is possible, but it's this whole like targeted individual stuff. I'm open-minded. It's just like, I don't know. I do feel like people can get paranoid at times, I guess, but I like to thinking of going to London or somewhere. Yeah, London's got a lot of stuff to see. I mean, I've been like about 3 times. I mean, if you're into museums, there's like Natural History Museum. That's good. I'd like to go to some of the other ones as well. Imperial War Museum, but I didn't get to go to that one, but hopefully I can go there one day. Because what happened, right, we were going to go, but then it was shut when we were like, I think they were doing some like renovation or something like that. Going to London in a few weeks to the theatre. All right. Yeah, who are you going there with? Just like family or something? What theatre is that then you're going to? Yeah, there's what is it, National Gallery or something? Is it called? I'd like to go there. That's around Trafalgar Square. Yeah. Has anyone been at Trafalgar Square? Yeah. It's yeah, there's a lot of stuff to see in London, yeah. I'd like to go on London Eye. Only on Monopoly. Oh yeah, Monopoly. Yeah, I remember all like Mayfair and Park Lane. I'll tell you something. We were stopping somewhere in a place called Bermondsey, which is like southeast London. We walked all the way from there down the river to, I think it might have been Blackfriars or somewhere like that. One of those, and then across to, what is it, Trafalgar Square. And then we walked to like this M&M shop because people wanted to go in there. And then we walked to Park Lane, I think it was, where we then got on a coach, I think, somewhere. So it was quite a lot of walking around that we did in this group that day. So yeah, in fact, I remember like someone was moaning that their feet were hurting because it was quite a long walk. That's the thing with London. It's like there's a lot of walking around, isn't there? You know, unless you're just going to go on the tube. But they decided that we were just going to walk it there instead, probably because they didn't want to like, you know, we weren't just going to like get tickets to go in on it. So we decided to just walk because we were going to a couple of different places. So yeah, but London's, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to really live in London, especially anywhere near the middle. It's just way too frigging busy. Yeah, the tube's horrible. The air quality is just horrible. It's just, it feels like you can barely even breathe. Yeah. Literally makes your bogies black. Ugh. Yeah, it's just like the air is just like so dense. It's like you can barely even breathe. It feels like hot and just like, yeah, stale air. It's like even being in, I don't know if anyone's ever been in a car and it's just like full of crap inside it. And like, there's no windows open, right? That is like the worst feeling. It's horrible when it happens, right? I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but I remember I would be like sat in a car or something and they just like had all this crap inside it. So the air was quite stale because there was just not a lot of like room in it. It's not a lot of room to circulate. And no windows open because they didn't want to open the windows because it was, you know, letting in the cool air. But it's like you need to though to let fresh air in. It would just feel like kind of sickly and whatever. It's absolute nightmare, especially if it smells like old food. Oh yeah, I remember that as well. That's horrible. I remember coming back from Scotland with my mate and we was on a trip and we was like, it smelled kind of like a bit, like a bit, almost like a bit rotten, whatever. It just wasn't very nice. It just like smells just kind of like, you know, circulating and there wasn't, I don't think they like had the windows open. Yeah. And I remember I needed to go to the toilet as well for a while until like we just stopped. I think we stopped at like Fort William, and like we just on the way back. So we was at like Loch Ness, and we went when we actually went through like Glencoe and all that on the way back. Unfortunately, there was some like mist at the top of it, so we could barely see like the summit of it. Charity shop smell. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's just I don't know. Oh yeah. Speaking of smells, I remember I was on a trip to Scotland, a place called Ayr. We stayed in a haven holiday. I don't know if anyone's been on one of those before, but we all went as like a family, and I remember I couldn't really stand the smell of the like when we're going to the canteen. They had this like canteen where you get food, right? And I didn't like the smell of it. Yeah, could be quite. I used to be quite funny with these sort of things like smells and tastes and things like that, and it would be a bit. I'd be quite fussy and cause a problem over it, and it's like, I mean, it probably wasn't even really that bad, but I just kind of, you know, anything that was like a minor kind of inconvenience to me, I would just like flip out over it or something. I remember I just like would just spend the day just like going down the beach and just picking a whole bunch of like seashells. I think I got about 70 of them, and I then took them into. I remember taking them into class to then show them. You know, it's like a souvenir that I got. But someone was telling me I shouldn't really be doing that. So, is it true that you shouldn't really be taking a bunch of seashells? I don't know if it's like there's anything wrong with doing that or whatever, but I used to do stuff like that. What's that? You mean? So like it was just I don't know. But yeah, hello Zayda, hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. Is it Zayda or Zayda? I don't know how you pronounce it, but welcome in. How you doing tonight? Hit that like button, everybody. Double tap your screen. But yeah, I don't know. I know I said I didn't really like talking about myself. I think it just depends what mood I'm in, really. Sometimes I'm just not really in the mood to like be talking about myself. I guess it depends. Like, I guess right now I'm kind of just okay to do that about some memories that I have. Kick off over smells or textures and cause problems. Yeah, I cause like drama over like things that would just bug me or whatever. Yeah, I remember I used to have this thing of like I didn't like people taking pages out of like a book or something like that. I don't know. You know, like when you have like these, it's like say if it's like a drawing pad or something like that or whatever. I'm like, I don't know why I was like that. But I was like, it all had to be intact and all that. It was just like a sort of autistic kind of thing. But it's like I couldn't care less now. It's like, you know, it's like whatever. So just kind of like, yeah. So I guess you just kind of grow out of a lot of it, really. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight anyway. Let's go and get 10 likes real quick. Thank you. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I thought it all seems really important when you're younger, I think. Yeah, I don't know if it's just like, what is that about? Or like, why is it that certain things are just like a real issue when you're young and you like kick off over little things, minor inconveniences. And some things are not even inconveniences, they're just things that we shouldn't even be bothered about, you know? Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on it is, but it's just kind of crazy, really, when you think about it. Like, why am I so bothered about these things? Why am I so bothered about, you know, things like, for example, if, say, I noticed that my hair was slightly shorter or longer on one side than the other, that would really like trip me out, that whatever you would call it, you know, it would really sort of do me head in. It would really just like, I would just be like, I was like, I couldn't be doing with it, you know. Hi Rebecca, hope you're well. Good evening to you. Hope you've had a good day. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, but keep it appropriate though. Yeah, just I just feel a bit sort of I just get really like bothered about these. I just get really bothered like with say like minor things like that, just like imbalances or anything like that. Not much at the moment, Rebecca. I hope you're doing well. Where are you from, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Tap use screens. Thank you very much. 8 likes on the live. Let's get 10 likes real quick. So I've just been putting out some videos and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just fun to just like sometimes share some experiences and stuff. We're just talking about things that like because I have autism spectrum. Oh, thank you, MPM. Are you from the UK? Same as me, yeah. Like because of like I would get like frustrated over little things, like I would kick off over something like, oh, I didn't like the smell of that thing in the canteen, for example, when I was away on a holiday in Scotland. But like I said, as I've got older, I seem to not really care too much. I'm just like, whatever. Oh, really? What, you have autism, you mean, or something? So it's just something that I've just learned to just kind of not really care too much about. Hello, Finlad Gaming 16. How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, what's everybody been up to today then? It's been a bit dull here in where I live in York. I couldn't eat peas for a while. How come? All right, Jacob, how you doing? Thank you. I was just saying with the rows, when you bend your legs, it makes it somewhat easier. So I was saying, well, if you was to just like straighten your legs out, you might find that that is actually intense as it is without adding extra weight. That's what I was trying to say, but it's hard to really convey what I'm saying in chat. It's been bitterly cold here. It's not been too cold, but it's like, what the hell, Benjamin? What's going on here? Why are you asking someone about going for a coffee in here? What the hell? It's very forward, isn't it? You haven't even said anything and you just like, blimey. Anyways, yeah, it's been all right. Thank you about that, everybody. The hell's going on there? I don't know like what is going on here, but it did that the other day where I was live and then suddenly it went black for everybody, but I couldn't see it black. I'm 30 years old. How old are you? Right, so hopefully that's all right now for everybody, but I don't know what the hell's been going on, but typical, innit, you know? Oh well. Never mind there. 27 says Benjamin. All right. Yeah. Yeah, 27. Oh, you're 17. All right. Yeah. How old are you again, Alondra? Emily says, gosh. What do you mean? Anyway, what the hell's going on with this? And then Finlad Gaming 16 is 12. All right. I had someone that was like 10 years old in my chat the other day. Alondra is 22. All right. We've still got plenty of time then to find somebody then, isn't it? So you were talking about that. Haley says, feeling old here, lol. Yeah, where's Richard? He'll help you stay feeling young, won't he, you know? That old boomer. Yeah, he's going to be 50 next year, isn't he? Yeah, he'll be getting his walking stick soon. Hi, Nico Bunny. Good to see you again. How are you doing? Is he gone yet? What do you mean? Who's gone? What's going on here? I don't know what the hell. But yeah, Emily's, what is it, 33, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm all right, thank you, Nico. Or Benjamin, I don't know. Thank you for the likes, everyone. Is that Jacob still there? Oh yeah, Jacob Love, who does the sends likes to people and stuff. Emily says, I want to be 17 again. Yeah, welcome. You wouldn't be able to like go drinking and stuff, would you? Okay, take care, Nico. Or Richard, speak of the devil, eh? I was just talking about how you, because Haley feels old in this chat, and I'm saying, well, little Richard comes in, he'll make you feel young because he's an old boomer. I'm alone for the time being, waiting to be swept off my feet. Okay, fair enough. So do I, Emily. I'm AC 24 lols. What the hell? Richard says blocked. Who's blocked? What do you mean? All right. Are you just trying to be like, yeah? What the hell? So how old are you then? Are you 17 or are you 24 then? I'm getting confused now. Why would you say you're 17? Are you just trying to take the piss? I don't know. Oh, you're calling you a boomer. I always call you a boomer. Hi, websites. Let's, yeah. You should go out. Okay. Yeah, if I want to go and talk to people, then I'll go and talk to people then, you know? I can do what I want. Thank you very much. Anyway. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all well tonight. Let's get 20 likes on here. But yeah, so didn't even see Richard was here, lol. Yeah, he just like, were you there already or something? Or were you just like your ears burning or something? It's too scary out there anyway. Why? I came and it froze, so rebooted it. Okay. Yeah, I had to like refresh the live because it was like going black. I see a red screen and I want to turn it black. Alundra just lit until Halloween. I don't need to dress up for Halloween because, quite frankly, I look scary as I am. Yeah. I'm a very scary looking man. My face will scare off those people, especially the Democrats. All right, I didn't have to say no to Benjamin because I didn't want to upset him. Oh, really? Yeah. Why? What's that? Rebecca, I'm joking. Imagine accepting an invite for a coffee from a random on a live chat. Yeah, that would be pretty messed up, wouldn't it? You know. So good on you for like doing that. That would be quite weird. I like dressing up for Halloween. What are you dressing up as? Yeah. Just welcome in. Yeah, 14 likes. Thank you, Jacob, for sending your likes on my live stream. You kind of have a bit of like southern accent. I don't know where you're from exactly, but you kind of have a bit of that, like Forrest Gump, not quite as strong as that. My sister did it and dated a 52-year-old when she was 19. That sounds a bit like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a bit of an age gap, to say the least, isn't it? A 33-year age gap. That's literally like Emily's age. 33. So it's Emily's age. The age gap is Emily's age. Oh, that's oh god. Oh goodness. But yeah, it's just well, they say age is just a number, but it makes you wonder, like, why is it that a 52-year-old is going for a 19-year-old? It is a makes you think like, what is that about? Like, I don't know. Is it really genuine? Like, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, everyone's gonna have their own opinion on that sort of stuff. But yeah. Anyway, sorry that sounded rude. Just a joke. What's that? Um, yeah, do some body weight rolls and some dips and some pull-ups and some burpees and squats. It's great exercises for building your entire body. I'm going to. Oh, you're off early. Oh, you got to get up early, innit? Yeah. All right. We'll see you later, Emily. Have a good sleep then. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, Haley, you still there? Richard, still there? Let's get 20 likes on here. Yeah. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Yeah, almost 20 likes now. So thank you for to Jacob for like sending support. So yeah, he uses different accounts to send likes. What do you mean, Benjamin? These people just like trolls or something. I don't know. It seems like there's Benjamin and what is it, Rebecca or something. I don't know. It seems like they're just messing around or something. Yeah. Isn't that a song? What's a song? Benjamin says Rebecca's a troll. Richard says, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, it just seems like they just both came in here and just like messing around, but it's engagement at the end of the day. So, as long as they're not going to be like really bad, then because if someone was saying that if you start blocking loads of people, it does work against you. It can work against the algorithm. I've heard. Someone was saying about this last night. Where's Reluctant Gamer tonight? Anyway, not seen him tonight, but yeah, I saw him earlier in the chat. But yeah, it was like the Pulsing Iron channel, and it's like I was trying to do like the French accent and stuff. Yeah, I think Jacob, you were watching. Yeah, Max. Yeah, what is it? Keep it clean. Make the every lap count. It's not about how many laps you do, but you got to make the laps count. Oh, I seen that. Richard. Yeah. I'm guessing they're bringing through. Hello, Nightmare. Been a while. How you doing? Good to see you. How have you been? Yeah, I've seen a lot of some people just like come out of the woodwork. Yeah. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Being good, thanks. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Jacob. Are you live again tomorrow? Like, when are you next going live? It looks like you've had a good session, but yeah. I've never tried doing that kind of like, what they call it, like pyramid thing, where you go like up and then down or something, or whatever they call it. Like, never really tried doing that. Maybe I should try that just to kind of vary things up someday and just kind of try the, where you ascend in reps and then like descend towards the end. Because it could be a good way of like kind of warming up, and then you get to like your max, and then you start to reduce it, because then obviously eventually your body's going to then start to get tired. So it can be a good way to do training, is like the pyramid training or the ladder or whatever they call it, like go from 1 rep up to 10 reps and then back down. Okay, take care, Benjamin. I guess Rebecca's gone as well, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, so a few people have gone now. Emily's gone. Yeah, Nightmare, you still there? What was your name again? But yeah, I'm okay. I'm just one thing I've been trying to do is like clean up the form and stuff, and try and improve on technique and stuff. Because what is the point if your form is going to be like sloppy? Then it's just ego, then, isn't it? It's like when people say that they can do 50 push-ups, but they're only like half reps. Then it's like they're not real push-ups, then, are they? Because a lot of people, when they're doing them, they haven't actually like probably because they haven't really built the. A lot of people simply do not have the like they could like if they tried to like go into like the deep stretch, they would just fail basically. So they're only going like part way down and then back up. So it's like they're not going down into the most challenging part of the movement. And then say, oh yeah, I can do 50 push-ups. So like, can you really? Can you do it with going right down? I doubt very few people can actually do that. But there was someone was saying that the average guy can do like 26 push-ups, which I think is like a generous estimate, I would say, to say the least. I don't really know that many men actually that can do 26 push-ups continuously without stopping, like proper push-ups anyway. So I think all those numbers are kind of completely BS because from my own experience, I just don't know that many men that can even do that. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else thinks like that those numbers seem a bit off to say that the average man can do 26 push-ups in a row. Well, I saw somewhere that saying that the average man between 20 to 29, it's like 28, and then it drops down a few after that or something. But what are your thoughts on that? I'm getting there. I hope I'm at 15 push-ups. Obviously, yeah, for females, it's going to take longer, but it's like, the average man, like, if I was to say, pick an average man out, they might be able to do like 15 or so, but I doubt that they can do much more than that. I just don't see it really, but I don't know what you all think about that. Because most men are not really in the best shape. They're not that strong. It's just, so I really don't estimate the average man that highly, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're getting these numbers from, how they're getting these estimates. Have they actually picked off that, or have they picked them off in the gym? Men are already in the gym. Maybe it's 28 for the men who actually work out, which would make more sense then, because it's going to be more biased towards people who actually work out, obviously. If we're talking general population, I doubt that the average man can do 28 or 26 push-ups or whatever. I doubt they can even do 20. I really doubt that. I mean, it took me a while to be able to do 20 push-ups. I think if you practice daily, even if you're weaker or heavier, I've seen guys do about 20. Yeah, but I'm talking about most people don't really train specifically for that. We're talking the average guy, especially nowadays, a lot of men are sedentary. They do most people do pretty sedentary jobs, or they're at least jobs that don't require a lot of strength. So I doubt that they can really do a lot of push-ups just from that, because they haven't built that resilience, whatever you call it, not resilience, they haven't built that conditioning, to be able to do it. So I would, like, let's see what it says. How many push-ups can the average male gym goer do? See what it says. Well, it says here, the average male gym goer can do around 20 to 30 push-ups with good form, though this can vary depending. So this is the thing, right? So when you see, when you're looking at averages, it's about averages of men going to the gym, basically, which is going to skew the results. So, because someone would say, oh, the average is 26. Well, actually, that's average of men who go to the gym, basically. So, but it actually says here that, wait for it, that the average between 20 to 29 is 17 to 29, which is still going to be like lower than, I mean, that's about what, 23? I don't know. Is that actually, does that mean in the gym or something? This is like we're saying that the average male gym goer is 20 to 30. And it's saying for men with like, focus goals that can get to 25 to 30 is like the average. But the point is that the average man in general, average male in general, let's see, it says here, the number of push-ups the average male can do depends on their age, but in general, the range is between 10 to 28. So, but it says 20 to 29, it's between 15 to 34, which is roughly about, well, that's about, according to that, that's still, that still sounds pretty high. So I don't know, like, I'm still skeptical of that, It says 15 to 34. Does that mean 15 is like non-gym goer and 34 is gym goer? I don't know, like, why are they giving you this range? What's this range actually mean? Like, why giving, these arbitrary numbers? And then it says the average male lifter can do 41 reps of push-ups on another thing. So, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm just skeptical of a lot of the numbers that get put out and stuff. Because in my own experience, I don't really experience many men that can do more than 20 push-ups in a row. Hi, Heavenly Star Helen. How's it going? I hope you're well tonight. I'm just wondering, like, because, I remember there was a guy who, like, did 21, and then there's some that can, they can do, like, a decent number, but it's like, the ones that can do more than, say, 25, 30 push-ups, usually ones that are pretty fit. So, yeah, I mean, 10 to 28, that's obviously quite a big range, but if we're talking like people in, say, 20 to 29, 15 to 34, but that's like kind of, what's that as an average? That's about 24.5. That's still, I'd say, quite high. Like I said, how many people do you know that can, as in guys, that can actually do 25 push-ups consecutively, without stopping? I mean, because that's what it's, suggesting about, doing that without stopping. Does that mean that you're allowed like a 2-second break every so often, or like what? But then it says here, some studies suggest a significant portion of the population may be unable to perform 10 consecutive push-ups with proper form. Experts suggest a realistic goal for many men is to be able to perform 20 to 25 good form push-ups. So we're getting like contradicting numbers and stuff. It's like, how are we supposed to actually know like what the average man can do? The average adult men ranging from 10 to 28. Does that mean depending on if they're a gym goer or not? But most men don't train in the gym really, so what is the actual average? If we're talking about like it'd be best to talk about like median average, which is like the average man, the 50th percentile man. We're not talking like, extremes or anything. We're talking, I know a few, but that's all they do, no exercising. Yeah. So it's just, my point is that if you can even do 20, 25 push-ups, like, you're doing all right. You're doing pretty good. So don't let anyone make you think that you're suck if you can only do 20 push-ups, because that's more than probably most guys can do anyway. Like, it's just like I said, a lot of guys I see just aren't that good at them, and they can't do them with good form. Yeah, they could do like 30, 40 push-ups, but then with terrible form, you know? Like, they're going to be doing a lot of cheating reps. They're going to probably have a big arch in their back or something like that, you know? What's in between 20 and 30? Well, that'd be like 20, wouldn't it? That'd be like halfway between. But I don't know. If you can do like 25, I would have thought that's probably more than average. If you think of like the average guy, I'm like, if I just pick the average guy off randomly, then like, I would be like surprised if they can do more than 15, to be honest. Like, I would not even really kind of, because most men are just not really that fit. It's like with the pull-up thing. Some suggest that the average man can't do a single pull-up because most men don't train for pull-ups. Whereas the average lifter might be able to do, say, 10. So some might say, well, that means that the average guy can do a few pull-ups. It doesn't work like that because the 50th percentile guy can't do a single pull-up. We're talking average level of physical fitness, the actual average, the average guy. Not average in terms of like the mean average, as in how many what's the average number of pull-ups that a guy can do based on like a mean average of, like, when you combine all the numbers and then come out with the average, because that's going to give you a different number. Because as you get to the more extreme levels of men, it's going to get skewed more to like higher and higher numbers, going up exponentially. It's like, for example, with earnings. So let's say someone earns like, let's say you got an average earning, like median salary of, say, like whatever it is now, 30,000 or 40,000, whatever it might be now. But the mean average is going to be completely different because a lot of skewing of the numbers as it gets higher, it can exponentially greater value, is, if you get what I'm saying. I can't do a pull-up, I'm still trying. Yeah, women tend to have problems. Do you do like banded pull-ups? Because they can be good if you're trying to do that stuff. Or you can use the platform thing that you can put your legs on. Some gyms have that, where you can use that for a bit of assistance. Another option to help you with the pull-ups is, well, a couple of things. You can do assisted pull-ups, or you can do pull-up negatives. So what you do is you jump up to the bar, and then you slowly lower yourself down. So you're controlling that eccentric or eccentric, whatever you call it, the negative portion of it. You know how you've got when you pull yourself up, you can, instead of pulling yourself up, you would do the inverse of that. You would be doing the negative. You would be slowly lowering yourself down, and that can help build strength up. They say, if that, it's like, for example, if you can't do a push-up, then try doing the push-up negative as well. That's another one to build strength in those muscles. Yeah, because you're still working those muscles, but you're just doing the reverse. So instead of like, pushing against gravity, you're actually resisting gravity, if you get me. So it's an inverted way of doing it. Anyway, but yeah, I hope everyone's well tonight. Share the live out if you can. Hit that like button. That's what I try and do, like pull-ups. I've been trying to work on trying to get the full range of motion. And one thing I've been trying to do is the negative pull-ups, trying to focus on that stretch at the bottom. So slowly lowering myself into that stretch, because you can handle more weight in the eccentric part of it, or the negative part of it. So that way you can actually train yourself to get stronger. I'm wondering if there's actually anything to actually like eccentric control, whether it helps improve 1 rep max or something. I don't know if there's anything to that, but it'd be interesting to have a look into that. About higher force production and improved muscle stiffness. By intentionally controlling the lowering phase of a lift, you can build more strength than with a standard concentric only workout, particularly with advanced techniques like eccentric overload. So the point is, like, you can get stronger with like the time under tension and all that. And I don't know, but I hope I get strong, get big old muscles and get healthy. All right. So yeah. But then it says here about showing no differences in hypertrophy. However, the faster eccentric phase showed greater increases in 1 rep max squat performance. They were saying on here that faster eccentric phase showed greater increases in 1 rep max. So according to this, that it might actually be better to not do the eccentric or not do slow eccentric. I mean, I don't know. It's a bit of a confusing one because you get some things saying that slow eccentrics might actually hinder 1 rep max according to this. But I do think you should have some control over the eccentric just to protect yourself from injury, basically. You don't want to completely let that weight drop because it can be dangerous when you're holding something really heavy. When it comes to a lot of body weight exercises, I don't think it's as dangerous. You can just do really fast reps, and I don't find that it's really as dangerous doing it that way. But when you're holding really heavy weights, then because when you're having external load, it's shit can get pretty nasty if you're letting it just drop. Like if say you're doing a dumbbell and then you just letting it drop, and it's it can really just fuck you up. But I don't know if there's something to do with with body weight training. It's just the chances of an injury seem lower. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but a lot of people say that there's less chance of injury with a lot of the body weight stuff. But I'm not saying you shouldn't do weight training. I think there is some use for that, but you just have to be careful when you're doing it. Make sure that you're mindful and you have a good mind muscle connection and all that. No, you're not just flailing around and just yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so it was saying about that you might actually get less 1 rep max from slow eccentrics or something, but I don't know. It's there's this whole thing of eccentric overload. I've heard people talk about that, but there was this friggin' guy called Genetic Beast, and he just comes across like he's just trying to, I don't know. There may be some truth to what he's saying, but it's just he acts like he's got the kind of some kind of secret or whatever that's this massive thing that's I don't know. I think the main thing is that you're taking your muscles to failure, or at least trying to, if you've got say reps in the tank, then you need to increase your volume. Then it's all about creating muscle, basically creating metabolic what's the word, metabolic distress, you could say, or something like that. It's about creating stress, metabolic stress, and then sort of the body adapts to that stress. So there are different ways of achieving that, but I don't know if this whole eccentric overload thing is really that important for it. But anyway, is everybody okay? um, talking about like, using 120 to 130% of your concentric 1 rep max to emphasize the lengthening phase where the muscles can handle greater tension. To implement this, a spotter or other assistance is needed to help with the lifting concentric part of the movement, allowing you to focus solely on the controlled heavier lowering. But it says you can handle more weight on like the eccentric overload. But I'm wondering if, say, like, whether it does it improve, concentric 1 rep max over traditional training or something. Let's see what it says about that. So say about enhancing the stretch shortening cycle and leading to greater adaptations in strength and muscle mass. Research that it shows that adding a greater eccentric load can increase the weight lifted in the subsequent concentric phase, and that using methods like accentuated eccentric loading can lead to greater strength and power gains. So I don't know. So I'm wondering if, say, like, if you just did, say, like, eccentric, slow eccentric trainings with, like, say, like without doing eccentric overload. I don't know. It's just something to kind of look into, I guess. But so, for example, doing, say, like weighted pull-ups but it would instead be like, eccentrics. So, for example, I could put like a weighted pull-up, which I probably wouldn't be able to do, or say like any more than, say, like 10 kilograms or whatever. But if I did, say, like 30, 40 kilogram weighted pull-up, but instead of doing a pull-up, I would just slow the eccentric. I would try and just get up to where I need to go. Either I would jump up to it or have someone help get me up to the bar, and then lower myself down as slow as I can, and that would be like a single rep. But the only issue I see with doing shit like that is then, well, what you do then, because unless you do like a friggin' 20, 30-second, slow as fuck rep, and that would be it. I don't know how it's meant to work, but how you're supposed to tech your muscles to failure doing shit like that, really. I'm not sure how it's supposed to really work, but I don't know. I've never tried that form of training, but it makes me wonder if, like, with the whole, handling more load, does that then increase the eccentric strength? Concentric strength by doing that. Think if the gym is calling my name or if I'm too tired. Okay, fair enough. So it's just like, anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's just a load of BS. Who knows? Hi, mint chocolate chip bowl. Oh, it's you again, Richard. Hope you're doing well. So just looking into this thing called eccentric overload. It's there's people going about. You can chat now. Okay, what's going on? So about being able to handle more load and all that kind of stuff, but whether it's just a hyped up load of nonsense. But there's this guy called Genetic Beast who's just constantly like, calling out all of the fitness community, saying they're all this and that. But to be honest, I think there's people like Jeff Nippard and Mike Israel, just a lot of shit, really. Fake science-based fucking joke. Same with that Milo Wolf, where Milo Wolf in sheep's clothing, should call him, really. Like, they're all just it's like a friggin' mafia. It's like they're all just like it's kind of like a cult almost. And it's like, and Mike's like the cult leader. You could see it as, because he's like, he's basically paid for their. I don't know if he's. I think it's something like he's paid for their like PhD or whatever, and it's like he's basically got. But I don't know if it would be interesting to see if they then stop like being loyal to him. But it's like they would just show their true colors, that they would just be like try and be loyal to him instead of being loyal to the fucking truth. When people were, when Mike Israetel got called out on his joke of a PhD thesis and said it was a rough draft, but then when it came out that it actually wasn't a rough draft and he actually admitted to it, they all went silent. So it just shows how, why won't they come out and say they won't actually apologize or anything like that. You're not going to get Milo Wolf come out and saying, "I'm sorry for like," it's like, it's not going to come out and, "I'm sorry for saying that, it was a draft. That's just what I was told." It's like, fuck off. You're just some like phony ass fucking, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, but it's like someone was saying how they're afraid to like speak out because Mike's, was the one that like gave him a platform basically. But hopefully soon, they're going to speak out and say, Mike's a bit of a douchebag and he's just, he won't, take any responsibility or accountability. Yeah, just it's just pathetic when people try and use science based as like their whole kind of marketing brand thing. That's the problem that people have, is when they've been relying so heavily on a PhD to try and promote themselves as being science-based when they're anything but science-based. And people have been scrutinizing things like how, say, like Jeff Nippon was like promoting a program with a set number of reps. And the problem is the whole thing of it being some kind of standardized thing of like, say, being, I'd have a problem with anyone trying to do that, where they're like saying, "Oh, well, this is, this number of reps is such a percentage of one rep max." It's bullshit, Like saying, "Oh, you do this, number of reps at such a percentage of your one rep max." Well, it's just like it made no sense. And then so then Solomon Nelson came and like said he wanted to correct it, help him with. So basically, Jeff Nippon like hired him, but then he's basically like tried to make out that he didn't really use him for much, and it was like, but then he came back again for help or something. It's just Jeff Nippon just seems a bit of a douchebag, to be honest. I think that Milo Wolf's just a kind of like, I don't know. It kind of comes across like he's just he's just one of his like kind of hello Tobacco, hope you well. Almost like his like Mike's PR kind of like, team or whatever. Like he's just there to kind of, to just say that, things that are in favor of him basically. So we have to be careful of like believing all these people, especially when they, saying that they're science-based and all this kind of crap. Because actions speak louder than words, right? That's the degree doesn't always equal knowledge. Well, it's not even just that, it's just sometimes people will use it to then deliberately scam people because people seem to kind of have an element of trust in people who, that have degrees and stuff, and they think, oh yeah, well, they've worked hard for this degree. They're someone that we should, trust in. And I don't know, I did a bit earlier, Jeffrey, but it's like, oh well, this is someone that's actually dedicated to science. They've worked to a PhD. They seem like a genuine person who just wants to share their knowledge and whatever. But it's like, so people drop their guard. But if anything, you should probably be even more worried because a lot of the people do this stuff to try and, you think, okay, well, they're saying that they have this degree. Okay, let's look into that. Let's see if what they're saying is actually true, because then we'll know if this person can actually be trusted. But then it's like, but the actual content of their work, if they see there's a lot of flaws in it and stuff, then should we actually really trust them? Or should we just say that, well, this person's a bit of a charlatan and they're a bit of a, you could even say they're a grifter or whatever. Anyway, I'm just going to go to the toilet real quick. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. My triceps are sore. What do you think could be a good remedy for soreness? Well, if it's sore, then it's probably just that you've worked out and it's like your body's gets a bit inflamed, and then as it's trying to recover, so you just have to wait it out, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's certain things you can take for pain and inflammation, like curcumin and things like that. But the thing is that some people are saying that you should just embrace it. Just it's part of training. It's if it feels sore, then you've obviously worked it hard. Yeah, TV. There's a lot of it's just a lot of nonsense these days, isn't it? Favorite hobby? I don't know. Just depends what I feel like, really. But recently, I've just been more into just doing the fitness stuff and making videos and things like that. Probably won't be staying on too much longer, but yeah, like 2 people left. Yeah, A lot of people just kind of left. So anyway, redox bath. I don't know. I'm not looked into that, but some say like hot, like saunas can be good, like increasing blood flow and things like that. I'm not 100% sure though, but I just remember someone was saying cold showers can work against it, but then I've heard that it doesn't really do that much to do that. Or bath salts. Yeah, hopefully you're not talking about, you know what I mean? Depends what kind of bath salts you're talking about, eh? You know? Anyway, you know. Oh yeah, not that kind of stuff. Definitely not. Yeah. Wouldn't want to be doing that, would you, eh? Yeah. Hope you've all had a good day today, people. Really crazy out here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can say that. Oh, you're Florida, aren't you? Yeah. Mine was not bad. Had fun at skate park. Oh yeah, did you ride a skateboard or something? Did you do any tricks on it? Oh really? Almost like a new trick. Oh cool. What trick's that then? Yeah. I remember there was that trick. It's like a simple trick that you can do where what you do is you put your feet under, you flip the board over, you put your feet under it, and then you just jump, or you just kind of jump onto it, and you just kind of just flips over, and you just like, if you know what I mean. Or there's one where you like put one foot under it and one foot over, and then you sort of like flip the board over sideways and like land on it, sort of thing. Yeah, it's a really like basic trick, yeah. But then it's like then there's the one with the put one foot under it and then one foot over it, and then you would just kind of lift up, and then that causes the board to flip over sideways or something. And yeah, it's Casper. Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. I remember someone was saying about Casper or something, 1 foot under, 1 foot over, and that was a bit more difficult, I think, because it's like. Right, yeah, the one would just put 2 foot under is quite easy, but yeah. I remember there was all these different tricks, like there's one called boneless where you like lift the board up and then jump onto it. I don't think I ever tried it. I think I'm a bit too scared to do things like that, really. Maybe if I'd put something on to protect myself, I don't know, but I was a bit of a, what's the word? A bit of a sissy, I guess. I don't know. There's manual. That was another one as well, where it's like kind of like the skateboard wheelie, isn't it? Kind of thing. Yeah, requires a lot of balance. I remember it was a trick on Tony Hawk's, a manual. It's called, and yeah, we have to like keep going like up and down, like got this kind of like balancing thing on it to try and keep it balanced. But yeah, there was like Tony Hawk's, like he did like crazy tricks, and then there was like Rodney Mullen. He does like the flatland tricks, so he does a lot of those like Caspers and things like that, but he does like some quite advanced stuff um I got a manual I do on my videos on an edit I made. Oh, cool. Yeah. This requires a lot of balance, though, doesn't it? I don't know if I ever tried doing a manual, but it's, yeah. Have you done a boneless before? So I used to play Tony Hawk games, and there was all these like different tricks and stuff. Yeah. I remember there was a trick on it called acid drop on one of them. I think that was when you like jump off a building or something, and then you sort of like land on sort of like a sort of ramp or something. If I remember, I can do boneless, but it's not a go-to trick for me, right? Yeah, it's almost like kind of yeah. I was seeing like the free running, like whether parkour, whatever, where they were kind of like incorporating like parkour moves into like skateboarding, where they would sort of like they would do things sort of like where they would skate down like a rail and then they would jump off and then land on another skateboard or something like that. Some pretty crazy stuff like that, you know. It's like, wow, that is some, yeah, some crazy stuff. Oh, thank you. Hello, Wonder Boy. How you doing? I'm okay. Thank you. How you doing? What, are you off now or under okay? Yeah, got to go work out. I'm dreading it, but got to get them gains. Yeah, I don't know why you would really be like that bothered, but as a woman, I don't know like what the whole kind of but why you would put yourself through that to get gains when, you know, I don't know. I don't know really, but oh, your missus is falling out with you. How come? I don't know. Yeah, it's just sometimes like it just depends on what mood they're in. You know, if they've got like maybe it's that time of the month. That's probably the best explanation I've got. Maybe it's just that time of the month, and they're just yeah. Anyway, they just act like that sometimes. That stuff happens from time to time when they're like, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, you remind me of that song, Tenacious D. Is that what the name is like about? Because it was a Tenacious D song called Wonder Boy. And yeah, that's what you made me think of. So, Wonder Boy. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but yeah, it's yeah, Tenacious D. Oh, really? Is that your favorite song from them then? Yeah, I only know a few of their songs. Like I know that one. I know that the one called Tribute. I remember I saw a film called School of Rock. So it was like I think we saw it in music class at school or something like that because it was a music-based film, and yeah, it was like anyway. I used to listen to them back in the day. Oh, really? What is your favorites nowadays then? Do you have any that you still listen to or anything or yeah, anyway. Um hope you're all well tonight, people. Have you seen that film? Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, we saw one at school called Little Shop of Horrors. We saw that in music class. I like a bit of all sorts of it, so that's cool. It's good to have like a mix of stuff in it. I feel like sometimes people could maybe get stuck in a rut if they like a certain thing, but then they end up getting sick of it. So I think it's good to like mix it up. A lot of people just like to stick to what they know, which can make you not very adventurous. And yeah, there was one called Shallow, if I remember, and the Picker Destiny. I don't know who does that. And about Tenacious D or something, or is that somebody else? Oh, Jack Black movies. All right. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I've not really seen any other ones really. I remember that they were in Foo Fighters video of like Learn to Fly. Oh, liquid drum and bass. What do you mean by liquid drum and bass? I know what drum and bass is, but it's like, what's liquid drum and bass? How is that different from like regular drum and bass? Does it just sound like liquid or something? All right, Nextski, Chase and Status, etc. All right, I don't know. I've heard of Chase and Status, but don't really know anything about them. Oh, melodic drum and bass. All right. The thing with drum and bass is it almost feels like once you've heard one song, you've heard them all, kind of thing. So I've listened to like some like Pendulum stuff, but then it's cool and all that, but then it does feel like some of the beats and stuff sound quite just repetitive, and they just keep using the same kind of beats and stuff, like from song to song. It kind of just, you know what I mean. Hospital Records are mostly liquid drum and bass. All right, I don't know. I don't know anything about that really, but did you ever get into that dubstep? Because yeah, that was like, I remember back when that was popping off, and around 2011, 2010, 2011 sort of time. I've seen a lot of drum and bass artists. Oh, really? What you mean, seen them live or something, or? But yeah, drum and bass is like kind of cool, but yeah, just probably wouldn't listen to it all the time, but yeah. Oh, you mean a raver? There was all that rave stuff back in the 90s, isn't it? You know, like back when you had stuff like, what is it, Scooter and all that, those kind of things, isn't it? You know, Logical Song, all that kind of stuff, all those tunes in it. Yeah, all like Happy Hardcore and all that kind of stuff in it. Yeah, but then it wasn't long until it just then got, because a lot of people were having these like illegal raves and stuff, and then they clamped down on it, didn't they, or something, and then just ruined it. It was a shame, I think, because people were actually coming together from all walks of life to unite, and then they just completely just like destroyed that. It's just like, you could say how like with social media, it's just like it's kind of meant a lot of people don't really go out anymore and mix with each other. They've got this kind of like gradual decline of society, and you know, people just not really interacting in person like they used to. Everyone all seems to be in a rush to be somewhere, don't they? They don't seem to be able to, you know, set any time to just kind of hang out and just, you know. Oh yeah, Clubland. Oh yeah, it was more kind of like early 2000s and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember like all that. Yeah, Hixie and what is it? What other ones were there? Well, there was stuff like Entrance, which was like, that was 90s, but there was a lot of like kind of remixes of it and stuff. yeah, who else was there? There's quite a few, but yeah. Was it the Ultra Beat? Pretty Green Eyes. That came after the whole rave thing, really, didn't it? Like 2003, but yeah, it was more 90s, wasn't it? The whole. Oh yeah, I've heard about Wigan Pier. Oh yeah, Fatboy Slim. Yeah, that was like late 90s. When did rave like finish? Like whatever. When did the rave scene die out? The original underground rave scene didn't die out, but evolved due to factors like increased commercialization, legal crackdowns, and a shift of behavior following the 19 pandemic. But I'm sure someone was saying that it kind of died off after about the 90s or something, and with like the crackdowns on it and stuff. Someone saying that, and about the story of rave doesn't end in 1994, but I'm sure it didn't end in 94, right? That's like a long time ago. That was even before I was born. Yeah, so music is so bad these days. Feel sorry for the young ones listening to absolute garbage, mumble rap and stuff. Yeah, you got stuff like, what is it? Yeah, Taylor Swift and Sam Smith, and it's like you've got stuff like, what is it? Doja Cat. You've got Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. It's just awful. I don't know why anyone can like that kind of stuff. It's just absolutely awful. Well, yeah, drill is another one. I just can't stand it. The sound's garbage to me. I don't know, but yet they'll criticize like rock music and stuff like that, even though it usually has a lot more depth to it. It's just total hypocrisy. That they'll criticize on like rock music as being, oh, that sounds like shouting it. Oh, it's the devil's music, blah blah blah, or whatever. Like, Charlie, have you heard this fucking drill stuff? Yeah, hip hop used to be like good. Like you had stuff like, like just back in the day, indie era. You had about like indie rock music and stuff. Anyway, good to see you again, Charlie. Hope you well tonight. So like, I guess, but there was bands like Let Arctic Monkeys who got lumped in with that, but technically they're not actually indie bands, because an indie band is a unsigned band. Someone that's not signed to a record label, they're independent. But it's like they talk about a genre of music being indie music. I think it just comes down to a lot of like, there was a lot of like kind of indie bands from like, say, a certain time. Like there was a thing called, it was like the sort of, a lot of these independent artists like that were like kind of like garage bands, really, garage rock. That's where that comes from, really. But I'm like, it doesn't even sound like garage rock. It doesn't sound, to me, in order for it to sound indie, it should sound quite raw and quite sort of unpolished. But yet this indie stuff that you get is like, just sounds very commercialized. So how is that even indie music? Even if we're talking about its sound, it doesn't even sound indie to me. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but to me, bands like Kaiser Chiefs and the Klaxons don't sound like indie to me. I don't know why they get lumped in as indie bands. It's lost all meaning. Indie should be about being just like an independent band, of just being someone who's raw and just kind of unpolished. But yet some of these bands are very polished and sounds very commercial, like pop music to me. I'm not saying that they're bad necessarily. I'm just saying that that these labels don't really make any sense. I can't name an actual indie band. Yeah, I mean, I know like bands that are like, they don't sign to any label, but like, for example, like some of the local bands that I would go and see, to me, those are the actual indie bands. Those are the bands who the up and coming bands who are just kind of trying to get themselves out there. They're just trying to kind of, but they're not actually, yeah. Even the crap music from back in the day is all right compared to modern stuff. Yeah, it's like even people are saying that stuff like some of these party anthems, like say like even stuff going back to say like LMFAO and stuff like that. I know it's shit and all that, but it's like compared to the stuff we have now, it's just seems pretty like okay, like into just it was just about having fun and stuff like that, wasn't it? You had like LMFAO, you had stuff like who else did you have? There was these just like kind of fun tunes, I guess, but they were a bit stupid, but they were kind of just they were it's like even stuff like I mean I'm not really into it, but it's like Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling it's like it's not my music, but it's like it's kind of like songs that kind of lift people up, I guess. Some people might find that gets them more in that positive mood or something. Galaxy 105 back in the day was good to listen to. I don't know that Galaxy 105. But yeah, the whole like say indie music to me, it's just like it's a very kind of like it's become a very like watered down term. Like, what do we mean indie music? Oh, it's a radio station. All right, I don't know about that. Never heard of it. Anyway, thank you for the likes, everybody. Live lounges were all right back in the day, and the mini mix mashup things. Oh, Pedro, good to see you again. How you doing? Radio on Friday night. Oh yeah, there was a show on Radio 1 called I think it was called The Rock Show or something. What was he called that did it? But there was a guy who played a lot of different, like it went from like kind of just like just normal rock songs to like really heavy metal stuff. So he played quite like mix of different rock music and stuff on there. What was he called that did the show? I'm trying to remember his name, but yeah, he had like a. I remember I got people to like put it on once, because I was like, oh yeah, leave it on, let it play this friggin' rock show on Radio 1. We were all coming back from London, a London trip, and we was in this like I think it was in a minibus or something, and we were just like they were just letting it play all night basically, and yeah, they let it play. I can't remember his name, but I think he gave up doing that show. I don't know what he does now, but yeah, I'm 30 years old, so at least Haley won't feel old if you're watching, but I don't think Haley's there anymore. But yeah, but yeah, so I remember like it got to a point where it was playing friggin' some like black metal music or something. It was playing black metal. So yeah, everyone in there got to experience black metal music. But yeah, some of that music they start screaming about Satan and stuff like that, I could do like the black metal vocals. Satan! That mosh pits back in the day were wild. All right. Oh yeah, mosh pits. Yeah. Yeah, seeing like at these mosh pits doing like the hardcore dancing and doing like with the thing with their, doing it with their arms and shit, like just like it's like I don't know. It's just that these like a lot of them like hardcore bands and stuff. Yeah, hardcore punk bands, like kind of, you get stuff like Black Flag and bands like that, really. Like the more like aggressive kind of bands, and it would be like a way of people releasing their frustrations and stuff, getting their anger out, basically. All my mates like this, like his screamo stuff. I hated it. All right, we mean sweat. You mean or squarey screamo stuff? Which one's like Odd Tomorrowland? All right, okay. Probably be getting off here in a minute, but yeah. I was watching. Oh yeah, I just read that. Oh, sweaty goth music. All right, I've never heard that calling it sweaty or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, but each to their own, innit? Anyway, so I'll be getting off in a second. So, any more questions before we go? But yeah, music can have a really like big effect on people, can't it? Whether it's good or bad. It can take you to some dark places, or it can take you to like paradise. But oftentimes people have a shared experience with it, and they can relate over it and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so what's that? Trying to quit cigs at the moment. I've only had one today. Well, that's good. Yeah, as long as you don't like feel bad for having one, because sometimes what people do is say like, they relax, they have a little bit, and then it's like it ruins the day, and then they might even end up like going back to their old habits because it's a way of dealing with that kind of mental strain or whatever. So you have to be careful not to let yourself kind of get caught up in that. And it's just some advice of people out there if they're like trying to, to quit these things, is that whatever it is you're trying to quit, it's drinking, smoking, whatever, and you have a little bit, don't beat yourself up over that, because it can just make things worse, and you end up just doing more as a way to kind of, yeah, you think, oh, I'm fucked up now, and I'm like, I feel bad over it. Oh, I'm just gonna like, just go all in and just do loads to feel better, but it's never gonna make you feel better, is it? Just reminds you of that bit in Ace Ventura when he goes into that heavy metal place. Excuse me, is Greg here? All right. There's actually a thing where Jim Carrey actually did an impression of Napalm Death vocals. It's quite a funny one, that. And it does a pretty good voice, actually, but yeah. Going for like 20 to 30 a day to like 1 or 2 a day. Well, that's good, yeah. Well, that's it. That's really good progress, that. But the thing is, a lot of people shouldn't probably do things cold turkey. I would say that's probably gonna mess a lot of people up. But yeah, I quit all drugs except cannabis 6 years ago, says Mint. Yeah. Well, you were saying, didn't you say that helps with your pain? If you're using it to help with pain, it's like, then it's sort of justified, I think. But then again, it's like, it's not actually allowed in this country, unfortunately. But it's just sad, really, isn't it, that they'd rather let people suffer than let people have access to medical cannabis. It's not right, is it, really? I don't think. But I had to quit weed because they were putting ket in it. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. That's more than, all right, when they buy 22 from 30. Yeah, that is like more than a 90% reduction. So well done. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all later. All right. Peace out, everybody. Good night.